Thanks for joining us back here at Somerset Place. We're continuing our focus on the Juba and Sarah Martin home with the 2 rooms located downstairs. A total of 10 enslaved persons occupied the room on the bottom right of this structure, including the family of 43-year-old Delphi, whose surname has not been established, his 36-year-old wife Joan Houghton, and their 4 children, Rosette, Willis, Teresa, and Shepard, all 12 years and younger. Joan also had a son named Isaac who passed away in infancy in 1829, but his father was not recorded. Unfortunately, both Delphi and Joan suffered from physical ailments. Delphi was listed as having, quote, diseased feet in 1840, while Joan had been, quote, injured by burn. Another family lived with them, that of William Blunt, his wife Rhoda, and their baby children Walter and Whitmell. Whitmell was recorded simply as, quote, child on the inventory, but his name has been established from other documents. Tragically, Walter passed away within a year of the inventory, and Delphi and Joan's entire family was inherited by Louisa Collins, so they were taken to Alabama in the fall of 1843. Accompanying them was Lucy, who may have been their daughter born earlier in the year. Although 10 people once lived together in this one room of the Juba and Sarah Martin home, only 3 people lived across the hall: Wellington Roberts, his wife Maria Davis, and their infant son Christopher. Wellington was born in Edenton in 1815 and arrived at Somerset Place about 15 years later with Josiah III and Mary Collins. He served as their personal coachman and drove the Collinses' large barouche, or family carriage. On July 8, 1841, Wellington married Maria, a granddaughter of Sukey Davis, and together they eventually had 7 children. His position meant that the Roberts family was at the top of the enslaved community's social hierarchy, which is why they had an entire room to themselves when usually more than one family unit occupied a single space. He also wore high-quality, fancy clothing, including a top hat with a large plume on the side, and he once received a Christmas pass to visit family back in Edenton. However, Wellington was often away from his family for long periods of time because the Collinses traveled frequently. This continued during the Civil War when he accompanied the Collins family to Hillsborough, while Maria and their 5 surviving children were sent to Franklin County. Tragically, Maria passed away in 1863. When Mary Collins could no longer afford the luxury of a coachman, she hired out Wellington as a teamster to the Confederate Army for the following 2 years. After emancipation, Wellington and his children returned to Somerset Place, where he continued to work as the family driver until his death on October 16, 1866. Due to their closer association with the Collins family, the Roberts were communicants of the Episcopal Church both before and after emancipation. His son Theodore and other members of his immediate family were founding members of St. John the Evangelist Episcopal Church in Edenton in the late 19th century. Additionally, like other formerly enslaved people, Wellington's family quickly took advantage of educational opportunities previously denied to them under slavery. 2 of his grandchildren were enrolled in school by 1870, and later generations became public school teachers. To learn more about Wellington's role on the plantation, check out the video about the wagon house linked here. Don't forget to subscribe to be notified of our latest uploads, including the final installment of the Juba and Sarah Martin home. Until next time, thanks for joining us.